Hey, this is Adasa, the voice of Dolores from Disney's Encanto, and you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. And before I go, because I am the voice of Dolores, I gotta say, hey, grew to live in fear of Bruno stuttering and stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand. Stay tuned for more.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us for the hub. We asked the question, is Universal really doing adulting better than Disney? A discussion that comes from some observations Danny and Eli had from their last trip to Universal. And look, this isn't your typical polished practice pixie dust and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in the parks every day letting you know when the condiment pumps return to Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe in the Magic Kingdom.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to talk Disney. Do a little drinking, give you all the condiments that you want.
And pumping.
Wow. The pumps. What the hell? What?
Man, I pulled up WW Today, the news site, or WW News, whatever, and that was one of their articles.
That was their article.
Condiment pumps return to Cosmic Rays at Magic Kingdom. I'm like, wow.
Our long national nightmare is over.
That is breaking. Yeah, breaking
I can
news.
finally stop having
No
nightmares.
more mustard packets for my people.
That's right. I just pump away into a little cup.
Pump.
And that's it.
Yeah.
2 squirts will do you.
Yes.
I can easily make my remoulade now.
That's right. So pump it up while we think up what we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'll be like.
And Rachel will join us in just a little bit. So, y'all, let's get to it. Let's have our discussion about Universal adulting versus Disney adulting. Here we are in the hub, the main topic segment of the show. And as I mentioned up at the top, we talk about D and E's trip. And, well, not necessarily trip.
It's
You got some,
it's more of an observation that I had while we were on the trip, and I shared it with Eli. And really, this wouldn't even be a thing, except that I feel like over the years, Universal Studios has made it a point of taking several shots at Disney in their marketing campaigns.
Definitely.
The most recent one I saw while we were on vacation. It said, "More than magic, it's real."
Ouch.
There's other sayings like "vacation like you mean it," all seeming to suggest that Disney, that's that kid stuff that you grow out of. When you mature enough, you come to Universal. When you get older, you come to Universal. When you've grown out of all that. I mean, there was even like at one point in time, I do remember there was a commercial where these parents are sitting talking to their son like, we understand that you don't want to be treated like a kid anymore and that you want to stay up later and you want to be more adventurous. And we just have one thing to say to you. It's about time. And boom.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You remember that one?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, there was other ones where they had like a kid being pushed in a swing when he was younger and they show him grown up, and a girl dressed as a princess, but now she's a witch from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And the kids would proudly declare, now I'm ready. Like as if like I've graduated all that kid shit, now I'm ready.
Wow.
And there was even one where I remember there was some girl who said, if I have to see one more princess, I'm going to hurl. And,
oh, really?
And the announcer goes, fairy tales and pixie dust ain't quite your thing. Come to Universal. It was something to that effect. I can't remember what it was. It was that blatant.
Wow.
The shots that they would take at Disney. And again, the overall message seemed to be, hey, Disney's kid stuff, when y'all finally grow up, come on over to Universal. We got you covered. And my observation from this trip is, no, they don't. They don't. Like, they make their whole reputation on this. I think that there is a legitimate argument to be had that once you become a teenager, from teenage years to young adult years, yeah, Universal's got you covered. And you probably will grow out of some of that Disney stuff and want to go over there and be a little bit more adventurous. But then once you hit about your 30s, you're going right back over to the Disney, because Disney does adulting, in my opinion, better than Universal does. And I'll give you my reasons why one by one, and I'm going to ask y'all to chime in. First things first, restaurants.
Ooh.
All of the themed restaurants inside their parks consist mostly of mobile order ahead cafeteria style food.
Diner, yeah.
True.
And they all seem to close about 2 hours before the park even does. The menus are very limited. It's your standard overpriced burgers, pizza, chicken, sandwiches. Every once in a while, you'll find something exotic on the menu that they just kind of throw in there, like chicken, pizza, pork adobo.
Hey!
But given the vibe of the place, it's not really something that you trust coming from that place. You know, it's like going to the supermarket and getting sushi.
Wait, they had pork adobo?
Yeah, they did at one of the places.
He's like, I'm in.
He's like, I'll take it anywhere.
I mean, yeah, but that's just kind of, that's
It's like
very
going to-
random. Yeah.
You've gone to Denny's before, right?
Yeah.
They have steak on the menu. You ever had a Denny's steak?
Yeah, it's like a thin little whatever. It's
Yes.
like a breakfast chop.
Yeah, I threw it at an ex-girlfriend of mine to get her off me once.
I'm just saying, like, even when they do kind of venture outside of that standard fast food kind of stuff, it's not something you trust. They do have 2 sit-down restaurants, table service restaurants in Universal Studios, Finnegan's Bar and Grill,
Mm-hmm.
and Lombard Seafood Grill.
Right.
They do have 2 sit-down restaurants in Universal's Islands of Adventure, Mythos and Confisco Grill.
Mhm.
Confisco Grill. Let me say that right.
Yeah. And they're
Both
okay.
of-
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only restaurants that you can possibly get a reservation
Right.
at inside the parks. Outside the parks, you're fine. But there again, that City Walk area, it's mostly just a bunch of chain restaurants that if you live in any major city, you've got half of them there. I mean,
Yeah.
Moe's.
There's nothing unique. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Moe's, Margaritaville,
Bubba Gum.
Bubba Gum.
Hard Rock.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of restaurants. And there is one, and anyone who knows me knows I love hamburgers and I love sushi. But somehow I just can't summon up my appetite when I go to a restaurant that serves both, but the name of it is Cowfish.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I've been there.
I
Yeah.
have not been because
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It smelled great.
it did smell great, but it's like, what a terrible name.
Cowfish.
It is. Yeah, it is. It maybe not the best name, but the food is so good, and it is actually like pretty reasonably priced.
We did try. We absolutely did try to
Yeah.
get in there. It just didn't work out. But again, it's like you cannot find a good restaurant. Let me back that up a little bit. I shouldn't say good. You can't find a great restaurant on property. And part of adulting is food. As you get
Yeah.
older and your palate gets more refined and you grow beyond pizza and burgers and all these kind of things, you kind of want to sit down and have a nice meal.
You want to get off your feet. for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Just relax for a second.
Sit down, enjoy yourself, enjoy the vibe. I mean, there's a reason millions of people watch the Food Network. Part of being adulting is appreciating a great meal, trying something you've never had before, something you didn't even know existed, something you can't just make up at home. And that is what I think Disney does better. Now, granted, they've messed up their menus a little bit because of all that prefix stuff, but they're light years of where Universal is in the dining department. Narcoossee's, Tiffin's, Brown Derby, California Grill.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I mean, one of the things you mentioned is like, first of all, a couple of things. The number that are in the parks,
Mhm.
right? You mentioned like there's 2 here, 2 there, whereas Disney probably has more within their parks at which you can get a reservation at, sit down, eat.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I found. I mean, I enjoyed my Universal trip, but I did find that dining aspect was lacking because of that.
Yes.
And because there were so few places where you could just sit down, get off your feet, get out of the sun. Because if we get around to like layout and stuff, then I definitely want to jump on that. But I'll table that for a little bit later. But it's exhausting walking around those parks.
Yes.
So sometimes you want to get out of the sun, have the sit down meal, just kind of chill for let your dogs rejuvenate themselves before you're heading back out into the parks.
Exactly.
There's more to do. There's more that Disney offers within their parks where you can actually do that and actually have a chance of getting in than some of the Universal options. You know, I totally agree with that as far as the dining goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Mythos. I've been there before.
Mhm.
The food's good. The ambiance is really good. So I do like that place. But you're right. The rest of the options are nothing special for sure. I do really like the Harry Potter quick service restaurants.
Those are good. Yeah.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to run through the restaurants a little bit because, as Rachel said, yes, Mythos is easily the best of the bunch.
Mhm.
The food's good. It's not great. You're not walking out of there planning your next visit around a reservation to Mythos.
No.
That's
No.
not. I mean, if Narcoossee's was shut down going to Disney, I might actually cancel my trip. I might.
Yeah.
Those are some big words.
But they true. It was
Narcoosse's is that big of a part of my vacation. It really is.
yeah.
I love that place.
well, it was tough enough when they took out the special brunch.
Mm.
It was
Oh,
hard to come
oh,
back from
man.
that.
the brunch
miss that.
that took it from a 10 to a 20.
Exactly.
Easy.
To give like a Disney comparison though, when it comes to Mythos, I would easily put the food at Spice Road Table ahead of Mythos.
See, I haven't been to Spice Road Table, but I'm hoping to go to next week.
Okay,
I would also put it ahead of Mythos. I agree.
I
Really?
might even. It's been a little while, but I mean, I don't think Marrakesh is back yet. But I think I would put the food at Marrakesh ahead of Mythos.
That was pretty good when I went there before at Marrakesh. That was
Mhm.
really tasty stuff.
So, yeah, just in case you haven't been to Mythos yet, it's good. The theming is nice. If you're hoping for a nice in-park meal, Mythos is definitely your best bet for in-park dining. But it falls pretty quickly off of a cliff after that.
Yeah.
Now, let me say, first and foremost, Lombard Seafood Grill, is that what it's called?
Yeah, out there in San Francisco, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever used to be.
I have not eaten there. So I'll cop to
I've
that
eaten there.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts
I've eaten
on
there. It's okay. It's not like mind blowing. The water. I mean, I come from New Orleans, right? So seafood's like seafood. But it's like at the same time, it's like, it's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. It wasn't too bad. It is crowded. It does get packed. And it's a very large place, but it's all right. It's all right.
I could see that because I kind of got the Joe Crab Shack vibes
Yeah.
just from looking at it. And then you look at the menu, and most of it's all breaded.
Yeah.
I mean, coming, like you said, from New Orleans, where we're really used to having great seafood, the look and the menu put me off of it.
Well, it's funny because like San Francisco's got great seafood too, right? With
Mhm.
Fisherman's Wharf and all that kind of business. And so if that's what they're supposed to be emulating, it's like, y'all could have done a little better. With that, I think. And for comparison, I'd put Mythos ahead of this, of Lombard's.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
But I just wanted to qualify that I have
Mhm.
never actually eaten there just because, seafood, the bar is really raised coming from here
Right.
to there, and the menu didn't look like anything all that interesting. Rachel, have you ever eaten there?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
When we go to Universal, we usually eat in City Walk
Mhm.
in
Okay.
the evening after
Okay.
the park day.
That's smart.
But we did do Mythos once, right at park closing,
Mm-hmm.
which was nice. But yeah, we love cowfish. We do that every trip. And we've done Toothsome a few times in City Walk,
Toothsome.
the chocolate emporium.
Oh,
Yes.
man, I wanted to try that. And I could
Yeah.
never get in.
The same
Yeah.
here. Couldn't get in either.
Yeah, you got to make reservations ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or if you stay at a premier resort, they have some like special reservations put aside for you if you book
Do they
through
really?
your premier resort. Yeah.
Damn it.
You stay at one of the premiers.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
The one restaurant we did eat at this past trip was called the Confisco Grill.
Okay. I've eaten there before. Yeah.
The host was extremely rude.
No.
The server was very nice. Gave us lots of good advice along the way when it came to ordering and whatnot, including pointing out that gratuity was not included. But
Lovely.
yes, but the food, as for an entree, I ordered the pad thai. It was bland, just completely. There was no flavor. It was like noodles and peanut sauce or something. Like I didn't even finish eating it.
Yeah.
The sliders they had, like they doused that stuff in aioli or something. The meal just in and of itself was nothing special. Theming was okay. And again, just for comparison purposes, I'd rather eat at any PF Chang's than eat back at the Confisco Grill again.
Well, that's about the same, right?
It's about
I would say the same
food
thing.
quality,
Yeah.
theming, and everything. It's in that ballpark.
Mm.
So nothing special. Last is Finnegan's, and I would put that as the second best one I've ever eaten at. Might as well be called Bennigan's. It's similar Irish pub type menu. Of all the places I tried, it just seemed to be always crowded because of a lack of good options.
Right.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
not just in the food department, but in the drink department. And we'll get to that coming up with the second point that I wanted to make about all this. Anybody else with any memories on Finnegan's?
I've been to Finnegan's, and again, it did. I agree too. Bennigan's or whatever, random Carubas even, maybe if for any kind of chain Italian joint.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's aight. It's tight.
I ate it best.
I wanted to say something about the restaurant that we went to that you just mentioned before, where the guy was rude, but we didn't have a choice.
Confisco?
Oh, the Confisco Grill, yes.
Yeah. The main thing that stuck out to me about that, if you remember, was like I was looking at the menu and I was like, I can't eat none of this. I can't. I'm a meat and potatoes person. I just looked. I was like, and I'm also not a Food Network person. So if you start to put words on there that I just don't know what they mean, like it took me a while to figure out what polenta was because
Hannah had to explain it to you.
yeah, she had to explain it to me. Like I was like, look, that sounds like bad chicken. I don't know what polenta is, but they had.
Okay.
It's a fish, right?
Yeah, what is that? Where they
I
find
was
this
like,
stuff?
how did we get that?
Yeah, and so
Getting out of that.
and you're right. So they had stuff on the menu, and I was like, I don't eat this. And then I remember there was some chicken dish, right?
Chicken dish.
There was this chicken dish, and I was like, okay, well, I can do this. Like I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was enough that I knew what all the words and ingredients were in it, and I was like, I could do this. I start to order it with the waitress, and then the waitress straight up says to me, "You do understand that this is served cold, right?"
Yes. That's what I mean when she was give us really good tips like that.
yeah.
She's supposed to talk you into this stuff.
Yeah, but she does a really good favor, and because of that, none of
Yes.
the options come in. Like, you know how, like when you're in a restaurant, you look at other people, like, what did that guy get?
Right.
Nothing
Yeah.
looked good.
Good. We
Yeah.
didn't even
Yeah.
really finish the meal. You know, like and that's another thing I have is like if I gotta pay to eat somewhere, especially if it's on a vacation, I'm gonna try to finish what I ordered, but it was like I can't do it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, yeah, but to your point, yeah, that was not one of the better dining experiences
None of it was.
to have out there.
We really, and we ended up just not eating until we got out of the park and we grabbed the first place that we could get into. We tried Cowfish. We tried, I think it was Vivo Italiano or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went over to, what was it, the
That-
NBC
yeah, the
something.
NBC Sports Bar.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Place.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, not a bad burger. That's all it was.
That's
It was
all,
a simple
that's all
burger.
it was.
So let's get into the Harry Potter restaurants. Now, these are theming done really well. Like, you really do feel like, and part of it's the exterior, just walking into the, like, you already are in that world. The interior does do a really good job of immersing you in the world of Harry Potter.
Mhm.
And the Leaky Cauldron apparently just serves the finest in British cuisine. But having been to London, I can tell you that all the really nice restaurants all serve Indian food. They don't even eat
Yeah.
British food.
That's like pub stuff is what they're serving. Yeah.
No one, least of all kids, want to eat stews and beef pies
Bangers and
and
mash.
bangers and mash. Yeah, like kids might want to be Harry Potter, but they sure as don't want to eat like them.
Yeah, fair.
And the Three Broomsticks is fine dining in the same way that the Liberty Tree Tavern is fine dining. And that's a meal served family style, but at least at Liberty Tree, you have your own table. You're not sharing benches with a lot of other people.
Right.
Yes.
And you have a server. So they're fine for what they are, but I really doubt you're going to have kids who are all that ecstatic, except for the experience of thinking that they've eaten in the Leaky Cauldron or the Three Broomsticks.
Right.
As far as the meal itself goes, I just can't imagine that there's that many children that are lining up for this, let alone adults.
There were more kids coming in there that were dressed like all of the Harry Potter characters that were walking in there with just like beverages,
Yes.
more so than takeout food.
The line for the bar was longer than the line for the restaurant, like to
Correct.
get your food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like these restaurants, but mostly because we go mostly to the Leaky Cauldron, and at the Leaky Cauldron they have something called the Plowman's Platter, and it is a big board for two people,
Mm-hmm.
like a big cutting board, and it has like this two delicious types of cheddar cheese, some really fresh bread, and then like a super nice salad and pickles, and I'm just like trying to remember everything that's on this board. Just like tons of kind of fresh roasted tomatoes.
Like charcuterie?
Really, really good.
It's like a
Yeah, it's
charcuterie.
kind
Yeah.
of like a charcuterie board, but it has a lot of produce on it too,
Mm,
where charcuterie doesn't usually. And there's no meat; it's just cheese and bread.
okay.
Ooh, we.
It's really, really good, and it's always fresh. And so Josh and I split that because it's intended for 2 people. And then the kids get like mac and cheese or something.
Right.
And it's nice because we don't feel gross afterwards.
I like that.
It has a Scotch egg on it too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That line to get to the ordering thing kills me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the same setup they do at the other place.
Yeah.
3 Broomsticks as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, man, our reservation's time's up. We're going in. Another line. It's like,
Oh,
and it usually takes a little while. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know about any of y'all, but when every time I went into it,
I would say like 15.
Yeah, mine was more like 20, 30. But then again, I traveled,
Okay.
I'll be fair, I traveled like beginning of August last time I was there. So maybe it was still
Okay.
the end
Ours
of
was
summer,
like
but
15.
still, man, it took a while. Killed me.
Every time we've ever walked in there, we have 100% intention of sitting there and eating. And every single time we look at the menu, inevitably somebody turns around, just folds their arms, just shakes their head like, Because like once you get through the first 4 to 5 things, like, I got to give it to Rachel because she found like one thing on the menu that it sounds like I would eat that, but it's got to be way down there on the menu. It's not like
It's the last thing on
It's
the
the last
very
thing.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, who would you split that salad dish with out of our little group?
oh well, me and Lily might be the only like you and Anna would never eat.
Right.
Yeah, y'all are just like meat and potatoes kind of people.
I
Yeah.
might use some of the stuff off that salad board to put in my hamburger.
Lily would eat the hell out of the cheese, and I would love the salad. But I mean,
I'd eat
so
the pickles.
that gives me something to look forward to. I guess if next time we go over there, we're able to sit down. But I mean, all in all, this isn't anything
Mind-blowing.
major. It's just you're pretty much paying for the privilege of eating in a Harry Potter themed environment.
It's pub food, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is like British pub food.
Yeah. I would say the fish and chips is pretty solid. I've had that before.
Mhm.
It's not bad fish and chips. It's pretty good. I mean, it's hard to mess up fish and chips. You're frying it. So it's
Yeah.
gonna
I
be
would
yummy.
agree.
Like, so
None of the restaurants in Universal come close to anything that embodies the elegance or the ambiance that a Disney restaurant does. I mean, hell, most times you're lucky if you sit down, your arms don't stick to the table. I mean, just being honest. I mean,
No, you got a good point.
that happened.
Yeah.
So,
if we're talking about counter service, have you ever had the tots, the like loaded tots at the green eggs and ham stand?
no.
No.
And I love tater tots. So
Yeah, you got to check those out. They have like pizza tots.
Mm.
So it's like tater tots with pepperoni, sausage, hamburger, tomato sauce, and
That sounds
mozzarella
good.
cheese on the top.
Okay,
Hey,
so
okay.
I saw this place, and it was right after we just ate at the Confisco Grill.
Oh no!
Because
That
we
makes
went
sense.
we went to the right. Well, we started to the left with Marble,
Yeah.
so Eli could see that, but we went back for a reservation. We'll get to that in a second. And when we went around that way, we went from Confisco Grill straight into Seuss Land, or what do they
Yeah.
call it?
Seuss Landing. You're
Seuss
you're
Landing.
so close.
Okay, there you go. I knew I was like the Seuss Land something. So I saw that when we walked in. I'm a huge Tater Tots fan, but I was already stuffed by that point.
Yeah, they have a buffalo chicken one that's so good.
Mm.
Oh,
Ooh.
I just looked at the menu. I was like, wait, I've been there. I got the carnitas tots. I remember seeing that. I was
Nice.
like, I like tots.
Do you like the tots?
I like the tots. I mean, it's tots. I mean, it's hard, you know.
Yeah,
It's
they're
kind of like
tots.
when
That's
Disney
not going
does.
to change your life.
Yeah.
Right. It's like when Disney does like the macaroni and cheese with the stuff on it. you
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, that
But
brings me into the second part of why I feel so. I think we're all in agreement that Disney does restaurants better than Universal, right?
I'd agree with
I
that.
And
think
Yeah.
I
that's
would
fair.
think that we
Yeah.
all agree that food is kind of an important part of adulting on your
Yes.
vacation. Would you not agree?
Definitely.
Okay,
Absolutely,
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's get to the second part there because I like how y'all transitioned me into this because the main reason we stopped at the Confisco Grill is because by the time we got there, my wife is like every 20 minutes, where's the bar? She's on vacation every 20 minutes. Where's the bar? That's why we booked at the Confisco Grill. It was the only place that we could find that had a bar attached to it. Because, again, an important part of being on a vacation is just being able to stop, sit down, have a cocktail, and just enjoy the ambiance. Have some conversation. What'd you think of that ride? I thought it was great. I thought it sucked. Whatever it is. That's an important part of, to me, adulting when you go on a vacation is being able to stop and have not just any cocktail either, just like something that you've never heard of before, something that just embodies the land and the spirit of where you're going. So, Confisco Grill, when we first got there, we went and checked for availability. And there was a very rude, very indifferent team member who informed us that the wait, and he did it in such a crappy way. We all felt it like, I could care less about you people. I don't want y'all being here. And this was not the first incident. We'll get to another one a little later on down the line.
Yep.
He's like, it's going to be at least 30 minutes. You're going to have to come back in at least 30 minutes. And my wife said, well, is there any availability at the bar? And the guy looks at us and says, no, I'm sorry, there are no tables.
Huh.
What we didn't realize was that when he said that there were no tables, he didn't mean that there were no available tables. He meant that there were literally no tables. Because finally, when we left
At the bar?
and went and did Spider-Man and came back, we walked right by the Backwater Bar, I think it's called.
Uh-huh.
And it's all standing room only.
Mm-hmm.
There was no tables whatsoever. And so that was part of the reason why we went there, so my wife could have a cocktail and so we could move on and get into the parks. And we understood that there likely wouldn't be a bar in Seuss Landing, and we were happy to wait until we got to the Hogshead Tavern, even if there really wasn't anywhere to sit down, because pretty much every single table at the Three Broomsticks is reserved for diners.
Right.
So if you order a drink you're not sitting down and being able, you'll have to go outside, find a little stoop or something to sit on. And there were hundreds of people doing that, like basically leaning against walls, doing what they could to sit down and have a beverage and try their butterbeer or
And
their
relax,
pumpkin juice or whatever cocktail they just ordered, whatever.
Breathing monster.
No, something
Fire
called
whiskey.
There
Fire
you
whiskey,
go.
yeah.
Thank you.
You got to get it's Strongbow with Fireball
Yeah.
whiskey in it, and it's actually really good. If you told me those things beforehand, I'd be like, I don't know, but we had it, and it's pretty delicious.
You know, there was a part where I asked the lady, the bartender was really, really helpful, and me and Eli tried something completely different we'd never had before. Both of what she suggested was, mine was okay. It wasn't a great drink. It wasn't anything special. I can't even remember what it was. It's something, I think it had like pear or something in it. I can't remember what it was.
We switched to old fashions right after that.
Yeah, we did. But when we went in there, I was like, well, why don't they do like alcoholic butterbeer? Like Disney does. You know, you can have the milk?
The milk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The blue milk.
There you
green
go.
milk, yeah.
And you have the option to add alcohol to it. I'm like, can we do that? And the lady cast member that I was speaking to is like, no, you can't because butterbeer's trademarked. So it's a specialty kind of thing. You can't do it. But there's nothing stopping you from ordering a butterbeer,
Right.
ordering a shot of whatever you want to add to it. Just don't mix it again at the bar. Just don't mix it up in there. And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds intriguing.
What'd you get?
I didn't. I asked her.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah. When we got our drinks, I got a butterbeer and I got the drink that I got. And I had the drink and I had the butterbeer. And I'm like, I like the butterbeer, but it's so sweet. It's like you can only
Gotta
drink.
cut it.
Yeah. I was like, can I cut this with something? And she gave me that advice. But by that point in time, my kid was all ready to go.
Yeah.
Like she was ready to move on to the next thing. And it's like, all right, well, cool. We'll just hit the next bar.
Yeah.
Only there wasn't any.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bars are hard
Once
to come
you
by, yeah.
leave out of Harry Potter land over there, you have nothing. In terms of lounges, in terms of bars, in terms of anything, there is nothing. There's kiosks with wine and beer.
I would say there's definitely beer around.
Yeah,
But
You
that's
can
filling
get
on a
that.
hot day, though.
exactly.
Like, I don't know if I'd always want beer.
And I don't
Right.
like, I'm on vacation. I don't want to get something I can have at home and I can have it better. I mean, we got like a zillion breweries over here, microbreweries, adding
Yeah.
cranberry, pumpkin, whatever you want to add to your beers. I mean, I can get decent beer at home. I'm not looking for that on a vacation. I'm looking for something that embodies the spirit of the place. If I'm in Jurassic Park world, wherever they call it, Jurassic World, wherever I'm at,
Yeah.
I want something. I was like, here's some rum, like tropical drink.
Yeah, Long
made after-
Island iced Tyrannosaurus Rex. or
We call it
something.
the Isla Nublar, and it's got rum and orange
Dennis
juice.
Nedry.
It's
Yeah.
something.
I'm sure they're taking notes right now.
Oh, they always listen.
Copyright Magic Airways.
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
Serve it in a Barbasol can.
Yes.
Oh my
indeed.
God, shots like a flight of shots in the
Yes,
Barbasol
in the
can?
Barbasol can.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Perfect.
I have always been during Mardi Gras. And during Mardi Gras, they have booths all over the place that have cocktails.
As they should.
So I have not ever really experienced this because you were saying like there's no drinks around, and I'm always like, dang. Every time I've been at Universal, there's drinks everywhere.
Well, let's back that up a little bit. So when you say that there are drinks everywhere, you're talking about in the park.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And well, at the Mardi Gras kiosk.
Okay. Are you talking about there's a full bar with Jack, like all these bars, or are you talking about they have two specialty cocktails that they made that they mass produce and they pour into a.
Yeah, it's the two specialty cocktails thing. Although I will say that I have had some of the mass-produced ones for sure at Mardi Gras, but most of them, they're like pretty much mixing there. Or they're like, they have like a pre-done part and then they add like the alcohol and they shake it all up. Josh had like an incredible Bloody Mary one time. Anyway,
Ooh.
so they have some different stuff.
Only during the Mardi Gras time, though.
Yeah, only during Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I was going to say, when we were in Universal Studios for Horror Nights, every kiosk had two specialty drinks. One was like, I want to say one was green and one was yellow. And we looked at the ingredients and neither one of them really stood out to us. So we didn't do it. And plus, my wife is pretty faithful. She just likes Jack Daniels with water straight. So that's what I was kind of curious about as to whether or not that they had the ability.
Yeah, they don't have like full bars. There's not a lot of lounges. You're right. There's not a lot of lounges at Universal.
No, that's really kind of what we're getting to. I mean, actually,
in Disney, they're attached to a lot of the restaurants that you can eat at.
Yes.
Which is handy.
Right. And you can even walk in there, and that's another thing. So that's something different that Universal, and y'all may correct me on this one, but I certainly don't remember it. When I would go to Disney, I would normally break off and like, hey, babe, would you want a drink? And I'll go get me and my wife a drink and go back and give it to her. Have you ever had that experience?
Oh, at Disney or
At Disney?
Universal? Yeah.
Try doing that at Universal.
Oh, that's tough to do.
Try doing that. This is the mature park. This is the park that's all about adulting. They will not let you order more than one drink if you go up there.
Oh, yeah.
Not
And you got to
even-
have your ID.
Yes, you have to have your ID. You can't just be like, hey, my wife's with the kid. Tough break, buddy. She's got to be here, and she's got to be here. There was a certain amount of time
Yeah.
she had to appear in.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'd lost your order and you couldn't get it. So,
Wow.
yes.
I feel like we did not have that experience. Maybe that's a newer policy. Like, I can't tell you how much.
It used
I
to
feel
be
like I
two per
remember
ID.
quite a few times where Josh
Yeah.
was like, I'll be right back with drinks. And then, like, here he comes.
I can tell you this, like, what was it, 3 years ago? We went to Hollywood and we went to Universal Studios. Eli and Anna took Lily on a Harry Potter ride, not the main one, like maybe the Hippogriff one or whatever the side ride
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, they went and did that. Eli and I said, we're good. We'll go get the drinks. We could not get 3 drinks. We had to go run and find Anna.
Huh.
And so literally we were able to find Anna right before the guy was like, that's it. You're cut off and y'all just get the 2 drinks and you're done and next. Like literally we
What a
ran
bummer.
to go find Anna.
That's
That
crazy.
didn't just happen inside the parks at Universal Studios. That happened outside the park. Just so you know. That's how hard it was. But I'm
Wow.
jumping ahead. We went to the Jurassic Cafe because we were just looking for some AC at this point in time. We wanted to chill out. We couldn't find a place to sit down, just grab a drink, grab some good food. Couldn't find anything.
Right.
It was burgers and fries, pizza, chicken sandwiches, whatever you, and we just didn't want to do that. So we go to there, and while we're sitting there, I'm like, all right, y'all want to get moving or do y'all want to stay here? And Eli's like, you know what? I'll just take a Coke. I can do a Coke. My wife's like, what do they have for alcohol? It's like, they have a Truly. It's like, fine, screw it, I'll get a Truly.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I
That's
go in
settling.
line, I order a Coke for my daughter, a Coke for
Yeah, it's a
Eli,
hard sell.
and a Truly. You got a better chance of getting drunk off a light beer than you do off of a friggin' Truly.
Right.
I go ahead and I order. I get up there to talk to this woman. This woman looks at me with such disgust and revulsion, and she's just like, you know we close in 5 minutes. And I said, oh, it's okay. We just want to get drinks. What do you want? I want to get 2 Cokes and a Truly. Okay. She goes to get the Truly. Anna comes walking over. She says, you know what? There's no alcohol in it. Give me 2 of them. Girl comes back. Hands us a drink. That'll be... Hey, let me get a second Truly. Only 1 drink per person. Well, then give it from me.
I was going to say, you're another person.
Right. She said, She starts to walk over to go get the Truly. She stops. She looks back at me. Is there anything else I should be getting for you while I'm up?
That's right.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. She actually said that.
That sounds like my Six Flag experience.
I said, no, I don't want you to strain yourself.
Nice.
She came back with the other Truly. She made us open both Trulies in front of her.
Why?
So she couldn't.
Stop.
Because, I'm not kidding you. Because it had to be one for Anna, one for me. We could not vacate the premises and put one of those Trulies there. Because, God forbid, you go out, you have a Truly and drive. You might. Never mind.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter was just like, that's how hard it was to get a drink. We left, we went around, we did a couple of other rides, we got out of the park, and Universal Horror Nights was about to set up. Now, you've already gone to the turnstiles, you've already gone through the security to go into the Universal City Walk, Islands of Adventure Studios area.
Yeah.
Right, 25 yards from the entrance, there's a bar, and they have Jack up there. It's a full bar. Eli and I stopped. Okay, let's get everybody drinks. Sure enough, we order 3 drinks. I need 3 IDs. I need 3 people here. Y'all only 2. We're screaming to get Anna to come back as she's sitting with Lily. We finally get Anna to come back. They give us a 3rd drink. We walk the 25 yards from where we got that drink, sold on Universal property under Universal standards, to the entrance
I've
of the
had
park.
this happen.
You got to finish that before you walk into the park.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
It was extremely frustrating. It's like, y'all have no bars inside. Why can't I just have it? Y'all are selling it. But come on, man. And he was like, nope. You got to drink it. All right, cool. We all downed our drink.
Oh, that hurt.
It did
The
hurt.
crazy part to me was, so this was during Mardi Gras,
Mhm.
and they had a booth they had like a Mardi Gras beer that was supposed to be like a king cake beer. And it was really good. And it sounds gross like king cake beer, but it wasn't. It was like kind of spicy. You know what I mean? Like the cinnamon.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
It was super nice. Like a nice, it was definitely a dessert beer. But anyway, so
Dessert.
there was a stand that sold it at the exit of Islands of Adventure. And so I bought it there. And then we went to go walk out of the park. And they were like, no, you can't walk out with it. And
Yep.
I like could visually see another stand right outside the exit that sells the same beer for Mardi Gras, because all the Mardi Gras stands sold it. And it was like, but they sell it right there. Like, why can't I just walk it out there where they sell it right there? And they were like, sorry, you can't walk it. So I had to like chug the thing in the park. And then I walked 5 minutes and passed another place where I could buy that same beer. Anyway.
Same
crazy
thing
time.
happened to me, Rachel. Like we were leaving out of Universal Studios. We went to the Uber. We went to the station in the parking area. They will not let you leave Universal grounds with a drink in your hands.
Is that a Florida thing?
No. I have walked out of Disney restaurants with a cup to go. I've walked out of Disney, and maybe I'm getting somebody in trouble. I don't know. But I have walked out with drinks before.
I mean,
I've
they do
never
have their
left a
own
park.
governing body.
I don't know about leaving a park with it. That is a good point. I don't know that I've
Usually
ever done that.
If you notice at Disney, the alcoholic beverages have a different color cup. They're like yellowy. Like the cup itself is yellowed. And
Yellowed?
if you try to walk out, it's like a yellow, like a plastic yellow. If you try to walk out with a yellow cup, they'll stop you.
Huh.
Even if you're just going like Hollywood to the boardwalk area, they'll stop you.
Huh. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, so does any of this sound like adulting to you? Like,
No.
it's
No,
that
not great.
hard to get a drink. It's that hard to sit down and have a beverage.
Yeah, so I definitely would agree. It seems like it's much tougher to get like drink, let alone multiple drinks at Universal Parks versus like Disney. Disney was always pretty easy to do. You know, even when I go get my Grand Marnier slush or
Yes.
any kind of Japanese beer or sake, even at the little Japanese hut, whatever, the kakigori, or not the kakigori, but the other one that has it all. I never ran into that much difficulty getting something.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Same here. It seems to be a problem over at Universal Studios. And again, that was a shock for us because it's like, y'all market y'all stuff as being the more mature option, the more adult option. And yet,
They do.
yeah, and y'all take multiple shots at Disney over and over and over again, and yet Disney makes it so much easier and so much more enjoyable as an adult to tour their grounds. whereas Universal makes it a lot harder. I mean, you really have to have the energy, the appetite, and the drinking proficiency of a 20-year-old.
Of a dry county?
Yeah, in order to pull this off. I'm sorry, man. I don't get it. So I just kind of felt it was appropriate to kind of call them on some of their.
Oh, I agree with the energy part, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, those parks are. I don't know. To me, they're kind of rough to navigate.
I don't dislike the park. I like the parks just fine, but they've got a way to go. I don't know what Epic Universe has to offer, but they have a way to go in terms of setting up the parks in such a way that people who want to slowly meander their way through there and enjoy an occasional cocktail or occasional bite to eat along the way. I mean, haven't they learned nothing from Food and Wine? I mean,
Right.
don't they look at what Disney's doing over there and like, you know what, guys, we might need to up our game a little bit.
Yeah, I would say I think the Mardi Gras is very Food and Wine.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that.
I
Well,
think that
maybe.
is their attempt at Food and Wine. And I have had, so we went in 2022 to Mardi Gras
Mm-hmm.
and like loved it, had the best experience. And then we went again in 2023, so this past year, and I didn't love it as much that year. And I don't know what was different, but I don't know. I think what was different actually was that the prices were a lot higher, and so I felt like for the amount of money I just paid, I kind of expect this to be a little bit better. So we'll see what this year looks like. I'm going to go back, but
Nice.
Mardi Gras does solve a few of these things you're saying. So if people are looking for more of like an adult meandering, snacks available, drinks available, kind of all around, Mardi Gras does offer that.
But
that
that's
you would
like
get Universal.
a certain period of time, though, right? Out
Yeah.
of the
It
year versus like year round.
Right.
Yeah, they are doing the thing that Disney does where they like make it longer and longer every year. So last year it went all the way to mid to late April.
Which is wild. to
Well,
me.
that is crazy.
Damn.
It's like
but-
they cover the entire Easter season.
You know, like
Yes, yeah.
even when Disney is not doing Food and Wine, there's still plenty of food options, plenty of drink options as you're touring your way
Yeah,
through
that's
Epcot.
true.
Lastly, okay, so we're all in agreement that when it comes to adulting, food, drink, what else would come along in your minds when it comes to adulting at Disney or at Universal for that
thrill
matter?
rides.
Thrill rides. Okay. I would submit to you, and me and my wife and Eli kind of had this argument while we were it was a friendly argument, not a real argument. Kind of had this argument. I would submit to you, how many people over the age of 35 want to be suspended upside down by their ankles, taken on several different inversions, spun around upside down? All like, who wants that? Like, I'm sorry, the Hulk Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, it's a bunch of Six Flags bullshit to me. Velocicoaster and Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, okay, they throw in an animatronic or two. Cool. I'm good with that at least. At least, okay, that qualifies. But once you're older, do you really want to be doing all that?
Yeah. I have not been on Hulk or Rip Ride Rocket. My husband took our daughter on, and both of those, they both came off and said they'd never wanted to ride again.
Mhm.
I could see that. Yeah.
But I have
100%.
done Velocicoaster and Hagrid's many, many times, and I love both of those.
I think both of those are two things that we didn't do. Hagrid was broken down.
Oh.
Velocicoaster, yeah, Hagrid was broken down. It was kind of a bummer because we were there
It's
and
a
they were
great
like they
coaster.
wouldn't let us on there. Velocicoaster we just looked at and we were like, hell no.
Oh, it's pretty fun.
I would ride that. Yeah.
Lily was begging to go, and you know, I think we would have done it again if it wasn't for the fact that we had just went to Hog's Head or whatever
Yeah,
and
where
had
we
a couple
ate.
things. So I
Yeah.
mean, that might have influenced it a little bit, but it's like, man, like once you get to be an adult, it's like I'm not just here for a good time. I'm here for a long time. I'm not walking around here greening the gills because I just got
Yeah.
The
sick
life sucked
riding-
right out of you.
Right. I want to be able to enjoy where I'm at. And as far as attractions go, once you eliminate all that roller coaster stuff that most people over 35 wouldn't do anyway, what's left? I mean, it seems to be kind of on an even keel. To me, I mean, look, Spider-Man's one of the best rides I've ever ridden. But would I prefer Spider-Man over Haunted Mansion? I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of what and what. Once you, because Disney doesn't try to do this. Disney's like, look, this isn't our thing. Closest they ever came is California Screaming, and then they
But that
still
was
tried to
still,
figure
yeah.
out how to put a story in there with the Incredicoaster. So Disney just doesn't do that.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I'm kind of a little bit more like, yeah, once you reach an age around 30, 35, 40, you don't want all that. Like, I've never ridden any of those attractions unless a kid was begging me to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad Lily forgot to, because I remember she was saying,
She
would
wanted
you
to do
go
the
on the
Hulk.
Hulk? And
Yeah.
she was like, I was like, I'll do the Hulk with you. And then like she forgot. I just said, thank God, because y'all eating hot dogs or something. I was like, if she don't say nothing, I ain't saying nothing. But no, that ride would have been terrifying to have done. But one thing I will give Universal some credit for, the rides that we did ride over Disney. In one sense, for us as tall people, there was at least a few rides that had some space for the knees.
Yes, there was that.
Oh, yeah,
Not
there you
many,
go.
though.
Not many.
You
but-
remember we did the Forbidden Journey, and our elbows didn't fit in there.
Oh,
Like, we
gosh.
were
Oh,
contorting
that
ourselves.
is a tight spot.
It
Oh,
is. It's
yeah.
very tight squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lady's like, are you sure you're in? I'm like, I'm as in as my body will allow me to be.
Did they have to stop the ride?
No, they
No,
did
okay.
not. No, it's a great ride. It really is.
But
It's
it
a nice
hurt.
ride.
I know, I
she
do
would-
like that
It's
one.
tight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The bench is tight.
I tell you what, I would put Gringotts over what is it? Cosmic Rewind any day of the
Oh
week.
my God.
Oh, what?
Oh
Fighting
yeah.
Words.
Oh, you think
Nope.
so?
No, that ride is.
I like Cosmic Rewind better. But
Mm.
I like them both, but I gotta admit, I had never been on that Green God thing until I went with them, and I gotta say that was incredible. That was the most
It is good.
immersive
It's really
ride
good.
I
When the-
had ever
It's a
been
great
part
little
of.
coaster.
When the thing breaks,
I like
all of a
them
sudden,
both.
like
You drop.
boom,
Yeah,
you
you drop
drop and
down.
you go. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh,
no,
for-
it is cool. It
yeah.
is cool. It's a great ride. I like them both. I
Okay.
don't know if I like it better.
I hear you. No, I hear you. I mean, they're two different. They're two different styles, and that's part of what we were all arguing about
Yes.
on that trip as well.
And no opinion's wrong. It's everyone's different opinion, but I'm saying it's close enough that there's a question. Can we disagree
I
on that?
agree.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's
It's a good debate.
Being the person who said I prefer Gringotts over Cosmic Rewind, I can recognize. Yeah, it's that close. It's kind of what and what,
Mhm.
and it just comes down to personal preference. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Disney matches Universal ride for ride very, very well.
Yeah, I would say except for Hagrid. I don't
Except
think
for
there's
Hagrid.
anything at Disney that I like better than Hagrid's.
Hagrid's
Or
is
like
really well
Adventure.
done, in my opinion.
Okay,
yeah.
so I
They
can't
did that
speak
well.
to that because both times that we've tried to write it, it was
That's the
broken down.
one.
Yeah, it was broken
Yeah.
down both times.
You
'cause-
know what? Actually, what I would put with it is Rise of the Resistance, and Rise of the Resistance also breaks down like crazy.
I
So
was-
those two, I think, are kind of like
I was going to suggest
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance, but it seems like a different. Rise of the Resistance seems to be a little bit closer to, like, say, Forbidden Journey. What about, say, Expedition Everest?
no. Hagrid's is much better than Expedition Everest.
Much better. Okay, I see. I can't speak to it because I've only seen videos because I didn't get to ride it. So
I would put those
It's-
two together only because, I mean, they're both outside.
that's what I was
Number
thinking.
one.
Yeah,
And I think they're the same kind of coaster system. They both go backwards.
similar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very similar experience. I don't know if I'd put Rise of the Resistance up against that one. I might do that with Gringotts, actually. Two different track systems, yet you still have the multi experiences on one ride.
But there's no pirates in Universal Studios.
No.
There's no Haunted Mansion. There's nothing even comes close.
There's no slow movie rides. Yeah,
Seuss Landing is cute, but and we did just about every ride in Seuss Landing because my wife's a big Dr. Seuss fan. But I mean, no. I mean,
My son loves all those rides, but he's 6.
Yeah.
No, it was cute. It was
Mr.
cute.
Toad's Wild Ride. I would do that over the Cat in the Hat ride any day of the week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't even go in Seuss Landing if I wasn't there with my 6-year-old.
Yeah, understandable.
you know, to go with your point, I would say if they're leaning into narrative, like if they're addressing like teens and maybe young adults,
That's
20s, early 30s, and yeah, absolutely. I think they're hands
Yeah.
down. But since the get go, I mean, Disney's philosophy was always trying to create an experience for the entire family to enjoy.
yes.
Right. So, like, you know, even though the elders and the youngins can all hop on some kind of thrill coaster together, hence the, you know, shaping their design.
Yeah.
So I could totally see that. Yeah. You know, after 30, like, I probably wouldn't ride Hulk again. Last time I rode Hulk was when I was probably younger, much younger. And I look at it and it's like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Even Velocicoaster intimidates me. I haven't ridden it yet, but I would ride it just because it looks like a pretty killer coaster. Hagrid's all day, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think is there any other coasters? No, Rip Ride Rocket? No, forget it.
Yeah, not a chance in hell.
If I had to, maybe once, but I have enough with Rock and Roller Coaster and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. See, those kind of rides, like in our age, that's something I would have to say I have to start that right when the day begins. Because I'm not very fresh when I wake up, but I haven't eaten anything. I haven't drinking anything. I haven't gotten settled into anything. So, okay, fine. I'll take one dangerous ride and do that. But I know once I am done with that ride, there's a part of my spirit that has been left on that ride that I'll never get back. And I'm completely just, I'm done with that.
Well, you got to ask yourself the question, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, I would ride. Star Tours makes me nauseous every single time I ride it. But if there's a new scene in there, I'll put up with it just to see it one time. Because it is very immersive. It's very cool the way to do things. If I'm just zooming around, if my experience, my ride experience is basically the experience of hanging upside down, going through inversions, that's basically my ride experience. No, I'll do it to see something amazing, something one of a kind, something like Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. When that elevator lurches forward, mind blown.
Yeah.
And I will put up with oh shoot, I do not like being dropped like this. Just to have that experience of moving forward into the fifth dimension?
Fifth dimension,
yeah, whatever dimension we're going into.
Yeah. But it's I raise those same kind of questions with Cosmic Rewind. Like if somebody wants to ride it, I'll go on it. But I know there's no inversions or whatever else. But I have to think about it a little bit because it does make me a little woozy.
Same here.
Yeah.
I got a little woozy off of Cosmic Rewind for sure. I did not get woozy off of Green Gots, but I got a little bit nauseous off of Cosmic Rewind.
See, for me, it's speed and serious drops like that is what is starting to hurt me now.
I could do that. I think it's the G-forces, whatever direction it comes in,
but it
gets me.
Or spinning.
For
me it's spinning.
Because like there's some rides I don't take well. Like I think what's the one Jurassic Park one, right? What's the
River Adventure.
Is that the big one? You see the
T-Rex and you drop.
That one's fun. I like that.
It is fun, but I don't handle that one well. Like if you take the picture, because what gets me is I'm like, oh wow, as an artist, I'm looking at the dice like, wow, he did a really good. And I never look directly at the bottom.
They got you.
Yeah, they always get me with that.
They got you.
And when they do the drop, I can take it, but it's like, I wasn't ready for that.
What about that one? I know you don't ride Space Mountain a lot because it's cramped.
Right.
But there's that one little drop that always surprises me. And if you've ridden it enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like you're going up, and whoop.
Yeah.
And it catches me every time. I'm like,
you know what?
Got me again.
When we went to Disney for Not So Scary, we went on Pirates. And I don't know. I'm like, maybe it's my age, but there was the part where right before you get into the battle scene, they drop you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I used to be able to take that drop, but for some reason, the way they did the drop, I went off my seat, kind of. I was like, oh no, I know. Y'all like, oh no, I can't. Oh God, like I don't know. My insides was in my throat a little bit. It was, it was a little rough. But other than that, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I was gonna say, is a very easy one for me to take.
Oh yeah,
it's still fast. It goes ahead and gives you the dive in it. You get a little drop.
That one has me a little queasy sometimes.
Does it? What?
Because it's constant curves.
Really?
That's not bad, huh?
Well, it gets me. I mean,
there's a lot of curves. Yeah, because it's tight.
Yeah, it's tight and it's constantly curves. There's barely any straightaways to kind of catch your breath.
Oh, I love it.
So it's constantly for me.
Yeah,
I mean, that's me.
No. Yeah,
I'll ride it, but it's like I know I gotta prepare myself because I know
we
it's
all
gonna
have
happen.
different. Yeah, we all have different physiologies.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like we're doing like 2 in a row. Like, which Disney rides make you sick?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, we could do a
Seriously.
whole show on that.
Oh,
so
maybe that's another show. We should do that.
Let's just pause.
We'll move
Put
it.
I was
in
gonna
it.
say I've got a way to like pull us back if you want.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it.
Danny, have you or Eli, both of you, have you been to Volcano Bay?
No,
Universal's Volcano Bay.
we've seen it, and I've been disappointed because I'm like, man, that volcano looks so high. When you see the concept art and the picture, and then when we rode past, it's like, that's not that high.
Yeah, that's true. The volcano's not that high. I think you would really like it.
Okay, I
They
bet you're
have
right.
like the bars, like they do at Typhoon Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
They have
Cabanas.
like I think the same amount. Yes, they have cabanas.
Okay.
They have a really nice wave pool.
All right.
They have a lazy river.
Okay.
Then they have an adventure river, which is really fun. It's like a lazy river, but like a little more intense.
Ooh.
A little more intense.
Yeah,
adventure river.
Color me intrigued.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I would do
Like
that.
I put on a life jacket just because.
What?
You have to, or you did it. You just because.
I can't remember if I had to or not, but I was like watching the people go by, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose a life jacket. Like,
Wait,
You choose life.
is that because you need it for how dangerous it is, or is it like if you can't swim, this is a good idea, but if you can swim, you may not need because life jacket's pretty
I would
much
have to
like
look up if it's required or not. I can't remember.
We need to watch a video of this.
The current goes very fast,
okay.
Oh,
and so I wanted like to not have to worry about swimming. for
Okay.
I'm looking at this.
Life
right now.
safety.
Okay. Ooh,
Well,
Yeah.
and keep in mind she's got 2 young kids going as well. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if something happens and she needs to save them, yeah, life jackets would be great.
oh
Life
yeah.
jacket's fine.
Now I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit because I've had 2 opportunities to go, and then after seeing it, being like, "That's nothing." I'm just gonna go back to Typhoon Lagoon because that's my happy place.
Yeah. Well,
But I need to maybe refigure that.
you should go on a trip where you can also do Typhoon Lagoon.
Okay.
Like you shouldn't do one or the other. Like do both.
Okay.
That way you
Do
don't feel
both,
like you missed
yeah.
out. But
Oh, we may
The-
never come back.
they have the tapu, like the magic bands.
Yes. Yes.
But they give them to you they're like included with admission. They give them to you at the door,
okay.
and you don't wait in the lines for the slides. It like calls you back when it's your turn to ride, which is
Okay.
nice. Yeah, but they've got the bars, they've got the good food, like
Okay.
you're saying. And then they have all the parts of the water park that you like, and it is themed similarly to Typhoon Lagoon, but it's more Hawaii than like tropical. With Typhoon Lagoon, what would you say that's more like Caribbean themed, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it feels like exactly the theming that it was just this town kind of thrown together by the wreckage of this massive storm, and it just feels like something you wouldn't find anywhere on Earth. Like,
Yeah.
it's familiar but otherworldly at the same time. I don't know how to
That's a good way to
describe it.
say it. Yeah, I would
And-
agree with
Well,
that.
that's fair. And so Volcano Bay isn't themed as creatively as that, I don't think.
Mhm.
But it has the Hawaii theming, which is really fun.
Okay.
And then it has just like a lot of great attractions and the
Ooh.
food and the drink, like you're talking about. And you love water parks. I think you
do.
might like it.
I do.
I'm gonna take a trip to do that.
Yeah,
Give it
no.
a shot.
So let's close
You
out the
like it, huh?
discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Because
yeah,
we're going a
definitely
little
pin
long
that.
here.
Yeah, definitely
Right.
pin
go
that.
for it.
Let's close out the discussion with this question then. Is there any areas when it comes to adulting
Don't.
that Universal does better than Disney? My thoughts exactly.
The only thing
the
I can come-
silence speaks a lot.
The only thing I can come up with is the use of the walking, or the what the hell you call it? It's those little, like you see them in the airports.
Oh,
Those
those
moving-
train, those little
moving
Oh, the
sidewalks.
moving walkway?
Yeah.
As far as adulting, I think that's
Okay.
a brilliant thing that I'm surprised
It is.
Disney has not implemented in their long. Like, look, that walk from the Epcot and
Yeah.
the Epcot
Yeah,
parking
yeah,
lot to
yeah.
the ball.
Hmm?
Dude, throw me a couple of those, man. I
Okay.
hate walking from that thing, but that's probably like
Yeah.
the only thing adulting wise I could definitely say that they do better than Disney.
Okay, I'll tell you 2 things my wife and I discussed. One was she's like, yeah, but the Magic Kingdom doesn't really have any place to drink or anything like that. At least Universal Studios
Which is true.
has something. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. But I can walk right outside of the Magic Kingdom, hop a monorail, and I'm right there for Steakhouse 71. I'm right there for Narcoossee's, in Enchanted Rose, Tambu Lounge, Trader Sam's. I'm like, it's all right there in one single loop.
They do have those restaurants at their resort. And their
Yes.
resorts are walkable.
It's walkable, but like it's either a boat
There's
ride
many
or a
different
walk.
ways to
I'm
get
sorry.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Either or.
yeah. Where to me, Disney is just, it's so convenient. Just step on that monorail loop and just boom, you're there and
Yeah.
have a drink and move on. So I would say that. But the one thing that we did talk about, and I'm like, okay, that's a good point, is that they just have slightly edgier content.
Mm.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, Harry Potter, people die, people get blown up, people get eaten. Like,
Yeah.
King Kong.
Oh,
I'm
King
trying to
I
think. The
would say,
Mummy.
like, when we go to Mardi Gras, the costumes are definitely more
Mhm.
adult than anything you would see at Disney. Lots of bikinis.
Lots of thongs though at Typhoon Lagoon. I don't care what they say.
Oh, Yeah, I meant like the team members are in.
Oh, we have to
like
check
the
that
Mardi
out.
Gras, like the team members that are dressed up for Mardi Gras and like in the parade or like walk around characters in the parks. Like, lots of shirtless men and women in bikini tops.
Nice.
Just like a little bit more risque costuming than Disney would do for sure.
Definitely
Things
gotta
that
check
things
that
that
out.
adults could deal with better, I guess.
I think I need to see that part to add to my answer to your question first before
The topless men?
No.
Oh, my bad.
I know. I don't think you guys should go for Mardi Gras. I feel like that would not be good for you.
No.
For me.
Because we like if there's a woman on a balcony, we're throwing beads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not that at Mardi
No, it should be
Universal
that.
Mardi Gras.
We should need to
Oh,
bring
that would bring their adulting quotient up.
Yeah,
a
let's
little
bring
bit,
that
I think.
authenticity.
Because they
to
do
that.
have where those construction drummers play.
Yeah.
In Universal, yeah, they could totally throw some women up there, or men even, whatever have you, to get earn some beads.
Well, the men are topless in that. Or like.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, that's true.
I made a note.
She made a note of topless.
She made a note of topless men.
Listen, Josh is always like, let's watch the drummers. They're so good. And I'm like, yes. Let's watch the drummers. They're very good.
Yes. She's like, that's why I married you. You understand me. I like it.
Let me have this.
Let me see this drummer. Let me learn some percussion.
That's funny.
Yes.
So I'm thinking Rachel's ideal date with a Disney character would be Animal.
Listen, I dated a lot of drummers.
You got a thing for drummers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My track history is definitely drummers.
Drummer. Oh, this will be a discussion one day.
That's funny.
Anyway, I don't know how we got here. Let's get back.
Yes,
to it.
Oh,
adulting.
poor thing's flush.
Yes, adulting. We're going back to-
Adulting. Speaking of,
man.
Is there anything that you feel like Universal does better that Disney does not?
Adulting one.
Yeah.
Adulting wise.
Yeah, I mean, the theming in those Harry Potter lands is hard to deny. It's so good. Yeah, I really feel like I'm there. I really feel like I'm in the movie. Disney doesn't have anything quite like that except for Cars Land.
That is very good. That's probably the best answer I've heard thus far.
I think
Is that Universal did a very good job in creating an immersive land. Like Cars Land, when they did Cars Land, you walk through Cars Land and you're like, this is great. This is awesome. I never wanted any of this, but this is fine. Like I never saw Cars and I'm like, I want to walk through the world of Cars.
No, I agree.
You see Harry Potter, you want to walk through the
You're like,
world
I
of
wanna
Harry
go.
Potter. And Universal did it, and they did it best. So
well, to be fair though, JK did hold their feet to the fire.
they did. Oh, well, you know what? To be fair, though, also to what you just said, that's not necessarily adulting. That's for everybody, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
It
for
is.
But
everyone.
it's a very good point. And it's something that deserved to be said because that is 1,000% accurate. Without that, I don't think that you have this new wave of doing these immersive lands.
Yeah, I mean, when we go, like I said, I've always been during Mardi Gras. We basically just do Harry Potter and Mardi Gras.
Mm.
And that's it.
Okay.
That's cool. I've been wanting to try that out.
I was gonna say, as far as like what we've already previously discussed, yeah, I agree. Disney's pretty much on top of that. Resorts in Universal, I haven't really been to. Like, I haven't stayed at any, Universal place, so I don't have any point of reference on that. But what I will give Universal credit on, as far as the adulting part is concerned, is that they actually have stuff. If you're at least a Marvel fan, I'd say they have stuff. If it's like T-shirts, autographed. Like, if I had more money, I would have spent it in that store.
In that one store?
That is
easily.
not a joke.
Easily.
I can see that.
I bought like 3 T-shirts. And because when I go to Disney, Daddy will tell you, Kevin, like, I'm like, all right, let's see what Marvel stuff they got. And it's all stuff that's for like a kid, which I totally get.
Which we were shocked because there was so much MCU in the Universal shops.
Yes, a ton. Like, it was very well represented. They
must think that's who their TV shows are marketing to.
Maybe
Which is farther from the case.
You could have gotten like a Chris Evans side memorabilia. There was I was telling Danny there was a comic artist that we met here in New Orleans, and he had like a Iron Man print that was up there. I'm like, dang, like actual Marvel comic artists are actually represented here in this store, and that was made for an adult to get, because adults pretty much are gonna fuel your economy for this merchandise. It could be for kids, but let's face it, kids ain't got no money.
Well, you know, that also could be another future show topic. Who does Marvel better, Disneyland or Universal Studios?
Oh, boy.
Now I'm putting a bee in your bonnet there.
Ooh, that's big.
That's a good one.
That's big.
I do like that.
So, yeah, like I'm glad we did this topic because this kind of reaffirms. And Disney, I don't know what you're doing, but hey, y'all do a lot of good marketing and do a lot of good commercials. Maybe start advertising the fact that, man, Disney does adulting way better than Universal Studios does.
And if you're looking to book a trip for adults, I book a lot of those. I actually just had a whole week. All the travelers that I had this week were all adults only groups.
Oh,
So-
Virgin Cruises? A
Good
lot of
for
Virgin
you.
Cruises?
Nice.
No.
Oh.
Well, I do Virgin Cruises too, which are adult only. But no, these were Disney. People going to Disney, just adults only trips to Disney.
Oh,
Wow.
I had a few this week.
dig
So
it.
Good for them, man. They're going to have the time of their
Yeah.
lives. They really are.
yeah.
Disney really does a good job of that. So I hope one of these days they ignite a marketing campaign because
Lean into
Universal's
it.
Yeah, Universal's been messing with them forever. Like, yeah, Disney, that's some kid bull. Come to Universal.
Disney, we won't make you sick.
Yeah. Unless you ride the orange mission on space. What mission?
Or
space?
Star
Space.
Tours.
Yeah, there you go.
But, you know,
Disney.
yeah,
Leave your Dramamine at home.
that's right. Don't need your Depends. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that discussion of Danny and Eli's observations on their recent trip to Universal Parks. And look, if you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you will find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions on anything we talked about today, you can do so through the following ways. First, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or send us a text message at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 1-815
Mo Weekend
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Yo, sir, what's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Excelsior.
Well, as always, you can visit comic website, ivorycomics.com. You can see everything that I got there, all the good stuff. 48 pages fully colored. The only ad in the book is for this podcast, which is far less than any ads that you see in the average comic books published by the big boys.
Say ass or ads?
Ads.
Oh, okay.
Ads.
Sorry.
All that ad.
All the ads. But I mean, you could put more ads. I got to do another book to call All That Ads, I guess, if I had to do that. But
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
that's going to happen.
Gay
Can I say
shaz.
something?
Gays ads.
That comic book looks good once you back that ads up.
Hey! You can see all that good stuff. Savage Ass and Project Geisha Ass.
Get that vizaz.
Savage Ass. All that. No, yes, any support that's been given to the site, thank you very much. Yeah, Savages, Project Geisha, Molly Be Damn, blog posts, interviews, and of course a link to this podcast so you never miss an episode, and a trip report, all opinions, everything. So that's the synergy that we want to aspire to, and that's what we got. So as always, please visit the Ivory Comics website. On social media, I'm out there. Facebook, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, lovely to meet you. If you're a bot, do not need to greet you. Credit score just went up. I don't need no bots reducing that. Please go away. Also on Facebook, you can check out the Project Geisha Facebook page on facebook.com/Project Geisha. Thank you for the support on that. Instagram, posting up the hearts and the likes and on my stories, the different clips that we have for the show. You can find that on eIvory504 and, of course, on X.
X
X
gonna give it to you.
What?
I can be found at Hancock 10166. So if you appreciate the madness that you are bringing me to gladness, thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation to see a bunch of topless drummers beat off on things, you can do it through Rachel, which also supports the show. Rachel, how do they do this?
I would be honored to help your family book your vacation to Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and major hotel brands around the world. Booking with me is at no extra cost to you. The cost of a travel agent is built into the cost of your vacation, whether you use one or not. And when you book with me, a little bit of your trip comes back to support the podcast and the fan community here at Magic Our Way. You can reach me at Rachel, RACHEL, at magicourway.com, or you can find me at R, the letter R, Family Magic so Our Family Magic, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also give me a call or a text. My phone number is 978-432-WISH. Reach out today and let's make some magic with your family vacation.
And if you're a drummer,
And you're topless.
yes, topless drummers get 15% off of the already free price.
Just ask Josh.
Yes.
So if y'all want to access all the info we just mentioned, go to magicourway.com/about us. Also, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. Any way in which you can support this show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohicans, you just finished listening to show number 493, and we are getting closer and closer to number 500.
Tick, tick, tick.
We say Kwahirini. My name is Kevin.
I'm Danny.
Magic out.
And you are. Bye!